Okay, in the second audio, we discussed how Peggy and Maddie and other children made fun of Vanda because she boasted that she had 100 dresses and 60 pairs of shoes while she wore the same blue dress every day. And towards the end of that part, we understood how Maddie was affected by that. She didn't want that to happen because she herself was poor and she feared whether the next victim will be she herself. Now we'll continue. Today, even though they had been late to school, Maddie was glad she had not had to make fun of Vanda. She worked her arithmetic problems absent-mindedly. Absent-mindedly means what? Without giving much focus on the problems that she was doing. Her mind was a bit perplexed or confused what to do. We know how she felt about making fun of Vanda, right? So her mind was disturbed. 8 times 8, so she just that multiplication table or whatever was that, she was just saying it mechanically. Let's see, she wished she had the nerve to write Peggy a note. Look at that, she's doing maths, in between she's thinking this way. She wished she had the nerve. She had the nerve means have the will to do something bold. So whether she had the courage to write Peggy a note, because she knew she never would have the courage to speak right out to Peggy, to say, "Hey Peg, let's stop asking Vanda how many dresses she has." So she knew very well she was the best friend of Peggy, but still she knew that she doesn't have the courage to ask her straight or tell her straight that we should not make fun of her. So she thought, at least if I had the will to write a note, if I was bold enough to write a note to her, asking her to stop this. When she finished her arithmetic, she did start a note to Peggy. Suddenly she paused and shuddered. Shuddered means trembled, actually out of fear. She pictured herself in the schoolyard, a new target for Peggy and the girls. Peggy might ask her where she got the dress that she had on, and Maddie would have to say it was one of Peggy's old ones that Maddie's mother had tried to disguise with new trimmings so no one in room 13 would recognize it. So that was that. Earlier we came to know that she also wore somebody's hand-me-down clothes. Now she makes it very clear that she wore hand-me-down clothes of even Peggy. So if they asked her about her dress, she will have to say that. And so far she managed. Her mother altered it in such a way that nobody will recognize that it was Peggy's dress. She will have to reveal that if she is asked. So she was worried. If only Peggy would decide of her own accord to stop having fun with Vanda. So she started writing a note. Then she, out of fear, she dropped that because she always had this fear. If I write, will they turn against me? Will they ask me about my clothes? Then I will have to reveal this. So then she thought, if Peggy would decide of her own accord, of her own accord means on her own, not out of force, not because somebody else suggested. She herself had decided not to do that, it would have been nice. If only Peggy would decide of her own accord to stop having fun with Vanda. Oh well, Maddie ran her hand through her short blonde hair. Blonde hair is fair or pale yellow color, as though to push the uncomfortable thoughts away. What difference did it make? Slowly, Maddie tore into bits the note she had started. She was Peggy's best friend, and Peggy was the best liked girl in the whole room. Peggy could not possibly do anything that was really wrong, she thought. So she tried to console herself with that thought that she is best liked girl in the whole room, so she will not do something very bad like that. As for Vanda, she was just some girl who lived up on Boggin sides and stood alone in the schoolyard. She scarcely ever said anything to anybody. The only time she talked was in the schoolyard about one of her dresses, pale blue with colored trimmings. And she remembered another that was brilliant jungle green with a red sash. Sash, it's a large, colorful ribbon band worn around the body. Like in our school, you have the volunteers wearing that maroon color sash, right? That is a sash. Volunteers which they wear around their body. You would look like a Christmas tree in that, the girls had said in pretended admiration. Thinking about Vanda and her 100 dresses all lined up in the closet, Maddie began to wonder who was going to win the drawing and coloring contest. So suddenly she thought about a drawing and coloring contest that was taking place in the school. For girls, this contest consisted of designing dresses, and for boys, of designing mortarboards. Probably Peggy would win the girls' medal. Peggy drew better than anyone else in the room. At least that is what everybody thought. She could copy a picture in a magazine or some film star's head so that you could almost tell who it was. So brilliant she was. Okay. Oh, Maddie was sure Peggy would win. Well, tomorrow the teacher was going to announce the winners. Then they would know. So these are Maddie's thoughts. She was reminded of the contest, and the girls' topic was dresses, design dresses, and boys design motorboards. And she was almost sure that Peggy would win the girls' medal because she was very good at that. The next day, it was drizzling. Maddie and Peggy hurried to school under Peggy's umbrella. Naturally, on a day like this, they didn't wait for Vanda Petronsky on the corner of Oliver Street, the street that far, far away, under the railroad tracks and up the hill, led to Boggins Heights. Anyway, they weren't taking chances on being late today because today was important. Why? Because the teacher will announce the results of the contest. They wanted to know who the winner was. Do you think Miss Mason will announce the winners today? Asked Peggy. Oh, I hope so. The minute we get in, said Maddie. Of course you will win, Peg. Hope so, said Peggy eagerly. The minute they entered the classroom, they stopped short and gasped. There were drawings all over the room. That is why they just entered the classroom as casual. Then they were shocked and they just stood there gasping. There were drawings all over the room, on every ledge and windowsill, dazzling colors and brilliant lavish designs, all drawn on great sheets of wrapping paper. There must have been 100 of them, all lined up. These must be the drawings for the contest. They were. Everybody stopped and whistled or murmured admiringly. So whoever was watching that, from their reaction, we could make out that they admired that, they appreciated the work, whoever it was. As soon as the class had assembled, Miss Mason announced the winners. Jack Beggles had won for the boys, she said, and his design for an outboard motor was on exhibition in room 12, along with the sketches by all the other boys. So first she announced the boys' medal. And she also mentioned that their paintings are displayed in room 12. As for the girls, she said, although just 1 or 2 sketches were submitted by most, one girl, and room 13 should be proud of her. This one girl actually drew 100 designs, all different and all beautiful. In the opinion of the judges, any one of the drawings is worthy of winning the prize. So look at that. That particular contestant has drawn 100 designs, and the judges said that any one of those is worthy of winning the prize. So all were equally good, right? I'm very happy to say that Vanda Petronsky is the winner of the girls' medal. Unfortunately, Vanda has been absent from school for some days and is not here to receive the applause that is due to her. Let us hope she will be back tomorrow. Now, class, you may file around the room quietly and look at her exquisite drawings. Exquisite means extremely beautiful and well made. The children burst into applause, and even the boys were glad to have a chance to stamp on the floor, put their fingers in their mouths and whistle, though they were not interested in dresses. Look, Peck, whispered Maddie. There is that blue one she told us about. Isn't it beautiful? Yes, said Peggy, and here is that green one, boy, and I thought I could draw. So look at that. Look at Peggy's reaction. Maddie just told her, see that this blue one, this is one she had told us about. And Peggy also said, here is a green one. And look at the last line. And I thought I could draw. So she realized where she stood. Till then she had thought that she was the best in that. She said, I thought I could draw. This made her realize that she was nowhere near her. Understand? Okay, there ends part 1. After this, again, we have the next chapters, 100 dresses part 2, the continuation of this lesson. So here, at this juncture, what do we understand? Now the children realize that they didn't know anything about that particular girl, right? They only made fun of her because of her name, and they thought that she boasted that she had 100 dresses. What she meant when she said she had 100 dresses lined up in her closet, they didn't understand. That is where the story ends. Okay, thank you.